stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Green Bay Packers. As of this morning, summer officially over. It's time for autumn football, and we're underway on EA Sports. Takes it at the 7. And he won't quite make it to the 25. They'll start the drive with Samuels, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Shotgun now for Rodgers. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. To throw is Rodgers. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And he's going to have a Packers first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. The Packers at 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
On first down, it's Samuels. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he's going to have a Packers first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
But that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd and 7, Rodgers dancing to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, The coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Got a man, Slayton. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 23. That one goes for 24 yards. Now, the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far in the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
They go draw play. This is Samuels. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw, it's Rodgers. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. They'll make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively. And not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
So a very long drive, play after play, gets him down the field, but wouldn't you know, it winds up yielding nothing.
And over on the sideline, you've got a kicker who feels worse about it than anyone. There's nothing you hate more than seeing the look on your linemen's faces after all their hard work getting you in position.
The lonesome, and he lost the football, and the Packers pick it up. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case, wide receiver, you got to be careful.
Certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Rodgers going to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack, and I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one, but occasionally the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly, maybe someone tipped it off, but on that play, it had no chance.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
So 8 yards on the completion there. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. No score after one on EA Sports. On fourth down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Taking it about the 36. 35 yards that time on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
First down, Rodgers. He finds his man, complete. That's Nash. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The end result, 21 yards.
Now, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Straight ahead running, here's Samuels. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Staying on the ground with Samuels, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a give running right is Samuels. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Rodgers. Touchdown! Mike Gesicki, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And Darnold, he lost the football, and the Packers pick it up. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice you're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Darnold now to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now a first carry for their fullback. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Now a give to Jacobs running right. Jair Alexander up to make the tackle.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Two minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Darnold. And he's got his big tight end here. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 28. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
A nice chunk play from the tight end position, and it illustrates the cohesiveness that he and his quarterback have. Both saw the extra defender doubling him up, and they still combined for the completion and big gain.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From the 24, Darnold. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. There he goes, right side. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-0. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A gain of 3, second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now it's Darnold. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Darnold. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 3rd and 19, no problem as they're able to convert. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Off of play action, Darnold. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They'll run again with Samuels on first down. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, 2nd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From the 39, Rodgers. That's complete to Dobbs. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 19. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you could have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Rodgers now to throw. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On 2nd and 9, Darnold over the middle. That's caught by Adams. He's at the 40, past the 20, and they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field, but if there were, he silenced those thoughts there. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. A give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
It's 2nd and 7 from the 9. The slot man in motion right. On 2nd and 7, Darnold. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Davante Adams, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. So that, Charles, their first score of the ball game, obviously, coming here in the 3rd quarter. Is that going to be enough to energize the troops?
It's a great question, and we'll wait to see the answer, but it's finally something for them to build on. Now they know that they can actually score against that defense.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. At their own 21-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Samuels again. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Raiders pick it up. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Well, number 1 on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the 3rd, that right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away when you have a lead that you can lock this game down with.
He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. 2nd down.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Here we go.
Back to throw, Darnold. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And the Raiders are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Play action. It's Darnold. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Fourth down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Davante Adams with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes it 24-13. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Certainly not what they wanted there, so the football by rule comes out to the 40. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in.
He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
They'll hand it off now to Samuels. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their...
He's got Watson. It's caught. Touchdown, Packers. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Packers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. So that drive there, CD, a good response, and that might be the one that gets them to the finish line, a comfortable lead.
Yeah, and that's all about not letting the team back into a game because they just gave up a touchdown. It was back to a two-score game, and anything can happen in that situation. But instead, they came through with a really terrific drive right there that ended in 6. So you like to slam the door on teams. In this case, they're trying to lock it as well.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. On first down, it's Darnold. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
To throw again on second down, Darnold. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Quay Walker. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. This defense just continuing to do their thing, and now they add on to that lead with another pick 6.
And how about the way they played this entire game? Not only they put their stamp on it, but every time they try and mount an offensive challenge, they find a way to thwart it. And multiple pick 6s, oh yeah, they'll enjoy watching this tape after the game.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense. And certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
They're hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap 1.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Fresh off the pick 6, it's Darnold. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Quay Walker. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. And they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps you.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Down on the year, and the Packers Packers add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the fourth.
Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Oh, a mistake there. The kickoff out of bounds.
Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
And some room to work.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. Same target. It's Jacobs again. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. 2nd down at 6 now from the 42. Here's Darnold. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley.
And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 33.
CD, this defensive effort, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. Here's Rodgers to throw.
And able to find Gesicki as tight end. And he's going to have the Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way, and plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
On 2nd down, Samuels.
And some room to maneuver. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
We'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw is Darnold. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't it.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Quay Walker. Yet another mistake after the interception there. Gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
Usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Green Bay, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will hit the road next